Hello everyone, I'm Greg Donovan. I'm CEO of Master Tax Pro, and this presentation is 0% actually 0%. Okay, basically the subject is auto financing. And I'm going to go through this fairly quick, but at the last slide we'll have ways for you to contact me, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Um, but I think this is a really important subject, so therefore you won't find yourself um, paying way more for a vehicle than you should. Okay. Um, okay, how 0% actually works. First, imagine yourself owning a finance company that lends money for auto loans. How would you make money on 0%? Basically, you couldn't, and not significant enough to keep you in business anyway. You would go out of business. Interest is the bloodline of a finance company, so how can you, the owner, offer 0% interest rates to stay competitive in a highly competitive market? And what that means is for dealerships to send out applications of their customers to you, you're going to have to offer deals for them to want to be interested in using you as a finance company for these people to present the finance terms to their customer. You're going to have to come up with ways for them to have where the customer will close the deal with your financing. Okay. All right. How 0% actually works? The answer here allows dealerships to buy down the interest rate. This is basically capitalized interest that is rolled over into your loan. Sounds good, right? Well, wrong. Why? You have turned interest, which is paid over time, to principal. What does that mean? It means you are paying more for the car, and it doesn't matter when you pay it off. Okay, now I have a slide that goes over the financial part of this, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay, check how do you know what you should pay for your vehicle. This is a step that you do. These 3 steps is what you should do before you go buy a vehicle from a dealership. Check the value of the vehicle you're interested in by going to Edmunds.com. Now this site is really, really good. They're way better than Kelley Blue Book. I've tested it, and they actually, if you're interested in selling your vehicle, CarMax gives a cash value for your vehicle, and I can tell you for sure that that is accurate. They will honor that appraised value of your vehicle, as long as you didn't lie on any of it. You know, if you told the truth about everything and it was accurate, then that's the amount you'll get for your vehicle. So keep that in mind if you're interested in selling your vehicle. Google, go to Google and Google average auto interest rates. Now, when I did that, it actually gave you a breakdown by FICO score, what the interest rates are. And the one that I found it was basically anybody over 700 FICO score, the interest rate is about 5%. Get pre-approved outside of the dealership. That means go online, go to NerdWallet, go to these websites and that offer ways for you to use an application, put in one, and then they give you several offers from different finance companies. Or you can go direct, Chase, go direct to Chase, go direct to Capital One. You know, those are 2 very common ones that I see people use. And there's several others that people use and that are really good. So that's the 3 steps that I would go before I go to the dealership. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is give you an example of why 0% is probably not a good idea. Okay, what am I looking at? This is what I'm referred to loan principal. So follow the arrow there. 0% offer principal is $34,787. Bought 5 points to achieve 0%, which cost an additional $4,787. That's why what I'm trying to show here is when you look at the 5% interest rate, now this is you using a finance company outside of the dealership. You just tell them, no, I don't want the 0%, I don't want anything you have to offer. I like let's say I love Chase Bank and I just want to use them. Okay, so you go to principal and you said you financed $30,000. You didn't, no points were bought, interest paid over 72 months. Okay, and now you're asking yourself, why is there a difference? Why 0% offer and why 5% offer? Well, if you did your 3 steps, then you're going to know this part. Okay, if you didn't do your 3 steps and you just went to the dealership and bought the vehicle, you're not going to know the difference roughly how much they paid for points or not. Okay, you're not. You're probably not going to know. Okay, because you need to know the value of the vehicle, the average value of the vehicle, to get an idea of if you're paying more for the vehicle or not. So that's why I said go to Edmunds.com, which is listed on the previous slide, and that will give you an idea of what you should be paying for the vehicle. So the difference here for my example is $4,787. That's what they paid to get 0%. Well, you're asking yourself, well, why would a dealership even care about this? They're selling the car. What does it matter to them? Well, it matters for this purpose. They want to wrap you in to them, keep you there with them, with whatever pros that they can about the car. Pros about staying with that dealership to buy a vehicle from them. So if you get 0%, you didn't do your homework, you didn't do the 3 steps, what's the likelihood of you leaving them with 0%? It's unlikely. And are you going to be as detailed about how much you pay for the vehicle? No, what do most people look at when they buy a vehicle? Their payment. Most of them don't even look at it. And that's why they'll say, all right, let's say that you wanted a monthly payment. If you look here, you can see the monthly payment on these 2 offers are the same. But what I wanted to point out on this, yeah, it's all the same, but the difference is what if you have this vehicle for 2 years or a year? Let's say a year. And you have the vehicle for 1 year and the car is a lemon. Let's say the car, or it doesn't even simply meet your needs. You bought a vehicle and it just isn't cutting it. It's just too much. It's too hard to have the vehicle. You need something else because of the way your lifestyle, and it just didn't fit your needs. So you go that 12 months and you turn around and you trade in your vehicle. Okay, you trade in the vehicle, your payoff is going to be $483 for 12 months, because that's how many payments you've made, because you've had it a year, so 12 months, you made 12 months payments, which comes out to be $5,796. Okay, that's how much you've paid on the 0% up to this point. Well, on either one, that's what you paid. Okay, but the payoff is different. Okay, on the 0%, you take the $5,796, the payments that you've made, from the $34,787. That makes your payoff $28,991. Okay, that's what that makes. All right. Well, if you go to your payoff on year 1, which is listed there, you look at year 1, you got $1,400 you paid in interest, and principal you paid $4,398. Your payoff after a year is $25,602. Okay, so your payoff on 0% is $28,991. Your payoff for 5% is $25,602. What does that do? Is that gives you a difference of $3,389. That means when you trade that vehicle in, your payoff is going to be $3,387 more just because you simply chose 0% over 5%. And that's the sticking point that I'm trying to get through to you, to make sure that you understand that, yeah, you may go in and buy a vehicle and have fully planned in your mind, no, I'm going to keep the car for 6 years. I always keep my cars, let's say 8, 9 years, so it doesn't really matter. And it really doesn't in a way, but the problem with it is, number one, when you have your financing already in order, you're going to pay more of attention to what you're paying, your loan principal, your monthly payment. Okay, you're going to pay attention to the term because you're going to know this stuff already when you go there. So you're roughly already going to know where your payment should be. On a loan principal of $30,000, 5% for 72 months, you're going to know where your payment's going to be and how much interest you're going to pay over the life of the loan. Okay, but when you switch over to the dealership, that changes all of it. So that $34,787, well, because you're not paying attention to detail, that loan principal could wind up being $38,000 or $37,000 or $36,000. You wind up paying more for that vehicle because you're not paying it as much attention because you're thinking, well, I'm saving 0% because you didn't do the 3 steps. You're actually going to be paying more for the vehicle in the long run. So I hope you kind of get where I'm going at here. You're always better off to just do everything you can outside. Let me go back. Go to Edmunds.com, check the value of that vehicle before you do anything. Go to Google average auto interest rates because you want to have that down. And then get pre-approved outside the dealership. There are a ton of websites out there that will offer you multiple finance options, okay? So, and it's very important that you do your homework before you go in because you'll come out way better and with a much better deal. Now, if you got a trade-in, you can say, well, they can screw me around on my trade-in, right? And give you much less for your trade-in than what it's worth. Well, one of the ways you can do that to basically remove that option is that you could take your vehicle to CarMax and sell it to them, which is basically what your trading value is going to be with the dealership. Okay? They're roughly going to be the same. And just sell it to CarMax and remove that from the formula. And you can do it that way. Now, if you owe more on that vehicle, then you can't do that, you have to do it with the dealership, then go ahead and get it appraised from CarMax and have that in hand in case they try to offer you less for that vehicle. Okay? So then you already know what the minimum trade-in value of your vehicle is. You know what it is. So they're not going to be you're basically shut them down on being able to gouge you anywhere. And if it's the fair value, which you already checked because you did the 3 steps, you're going to know they're going to make money. They're just not going to make near as much money off of you than they would somebody that didn't do the 3 steps. Okay? So that's my presentation. I wanted to throw this out there so you guys could really know about it. It's important to me that you guys make really good deals. And at Master Tax Pro, what we look at is every dollar counts. Okay, every dollar counts. So if you have a chance, an opportunity to pay off this vehicle early and you have 0%, don't pay it off. Okay? Put that money to work for you. Put it in a brokerage account and invest it. Okay? Don't give that to the finance company when you're 0%. And that's another point because you already paid the interest, to buy the points down. So odds are the interest is pretty much paid, wrapped up into the note itself. Okay? So basically what you need to do is just take that money and put it in a brokerage account and let that money work for you. Okay? And if you're paying 5%, then it's up to you. You know, you can either put that money, if you got a huge bonus, you can pay your vehicle off or something, came into some money somehow. Best thing to do is put that money to work for you if you can. If your interest rate's 5%, you know, with the market going up and down and going crazy, it's kind of, that's a personal choice for you. If you're paying an interest rate of 5%, you probably wouldn't be hurt too much just to go ahead and pay it off. If your broker, you look at your broker and your broker is getting like consistently 7-8%, then you might be better off to just put it with them. But for me, just to have peace of mind to know that your vehicle's paid for and something bad happens, you have your vehicle paid, it might be a good idea. But 0%, there's no way I would do that. I wouldn't pay that vehicle off. I would run it as far as you can. If you don't make it to where you have to trade it in or something, then trade it in. But if you come into the money to pay your car off and you're 0%, don't do that. Put that money to work for you. And that's what we will be putting a video. I will be putting out another presentation talking about some of you guys that get these really large refunds that you shouldn't be getting. And large can be quite a bit up there. But the most common that I see, you know, people getting anywhere from $7,000-8,000. What we do here at Master Tax Pro, what we want you to do is to lower that refund down to, you know, 1,500, 1,000, something like that. We would prefer you to be zero, where basically the IRS doesn't owe you and you don't owe the IRS. But what we would prefer you doing is just adding more to your 401k. Put that money to work. If that money's sitting with the IRS, is it to work? You getting anything on that? You're getting absolutely nothing on that money, so you should put it to work. Okay, so just put it to work for yourself and get with your accountant or get with us, and we'll try to get you down. Because of the way the W-4 forms, you know, the ones you fill out, you should be filling out every year for your employer. One of the best ways to do that, if you're somebody here at Master Tax Pro, what we do is we fill those out. For our clients, we would like for them to let us fill those out for them to make sure that they're getting as close to breaking even with the IRS as possible. Because you definitely want to just pay them, definitely not want them owing you. Let me rephrase that. Definitely don't want them owing you, and you don't want to owe them. So that kind of is a way to go about it. If you're really know your numbers well, you can do the $1,000 up to, say, up to $999, and see that you won't get penalized on anything. That if you owe basically roughly $1,000 or less, you're not going to have any kind of penalty hit you. So you can actually put your money to work when it's that close. Most of my clients, I don't have any of them that do that. We try to have at least a refund of somewhere around $1,000. But we definitely want your money going to work for you. And if you've got money put up in a sock somewhere, it really you should be putting it to work for you. You shouldn't be leaving any dollar not making money for you. And you really should be doing that. And that's why I did the 0%, because I want you guys to see, you know, when you save that $3,389 in interest, if you pay your car off, that's a decent savings on the vehicle. But 0%, you definitely do not want to pay it off. Just make the payments, invest the money, and you'll be much happier. If you have any questions about this, you can contact me at G, as you can see on the slide, gdonovan@me.com. Ask me questions. Go to mastertaxpro.com and to get more information. I plan to post this on our website. So that way you guys can have access to it again if you need to pull those 3 steps. And anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.